everyone. So I just thought that since, things are reopening post COVID, if you can even call it that, it'd be a really good thing to talk about presence. Presence is something that I have really been trying to make sense of and understand for myself over the last year and a half. And I kind of just wanted to share with you the things that I have learned and realized, and hopefully it helps you too. So, first of all, what does presence even mean? I mean, society as a whole isn't even present. Like, we're so here and there and everywhere. We're constantly trying to run to the next thing. We're always trying to arrive somewhere or at something, and we treat life as if it's a destination rather than enjoying the journey and really just being present with the good moments and the bad moments. And by doing that, we can really truly appreciate when the good stuff comes, but we can also learn to find that peace with life when we can just be present and involved with the good and the bad instead of running from it or trying to numb out or wishing things were different instead of just kind of like looking at head on and knowing that it will pass. Things change, they never stay the same. The only thing in life that's guaranteed is change, right? Change, death, and taxes. That's all I can guarantee you guys. So being present, is something that isn't very common because it's something that's been passed down through ancestry and all of those who walked before us. And it's no one's fault, but it is our job to change that and to become aware of it and to create the change within ourselves so that we don't pass this to our future generations. So I think the mentality mostly is that we think that we're born to just work, pay bills, sleep, eat, numb out, and basically die at the end of it all, right? And the truth is that there's just so much more to life, and there's so much in between those things that we miss out on because we're so stressed out and we're so focused on the final destination. Like I said, life worth living is really those things that are in between, and it's truly embracing all of the moments, right? So being present means that you really have to show up within your life every single day and in every single moment, in every single relationship and in every single experience. Like, you really show up. You give 100% of your attention to everything that you do, to every conversation you have. Every time you're driving your car, you're paying attention to your surroundings. When you're doing your work, you're truly working on it. You truly show up. When you're having a conversation with someone, you look into their eyes. You really listen to what they're saying. So if you think about it, in a day, I often find myself being present maybe 20% of it. And I am not aware of it until I go to bed at the end of the day. And I ask myself, was I even present within my day? How did I even get home? I don't even remember driving. What did I even do today? What did my food even taste like? I was too busy inhaling it, right? So this is something that we're all really guilty of, and it's the human condition. It's not something to be shamed. It's just, it is what it is. And so all we're trying to do is gain new awareness around it so that we can make changes and that we can, enhance our life by practicing these concepts of presence. So in order to fully be present, you need to first, I think, show up fully within yourself. this is the most important piece, is that you show up fully within yourself, within your own inner kingdom. Okay, so you learn to find this peacefulness within yourself. You learn to become your own best friend. You learn to enjoy your own company. And when you do that, you don't need anything outside of yourself, and you're never trying to get somewhere else, because you're truly just enjoying all of it, and you're enjoying your time. You're enjoying that sovereignty of being in your own space and in your own container, and you're focusing so much on what you need to give yourself rather than expecting other people to come and rescue you and give that to you. And then from that space, you just have so much to give, right? So you have to kind of think about yourself as a cup, and you want this cup to always be full. And then you need to be the referee of this cup. You need to, know your boundaries and know when your cup is about to tip over and spill. And as a referee, you need to watch out for those things and, say, hey, like, you're getting too close to my cup, or no, that's going to knock my cup over. And you become your own inner mother and your own inner father, your own inner partner, and you really look out for yourself, and you put yourself first and give yourself ultimate care and consideration. And so, you can think about this in the way that, like, you wouldn't forget to put gas in your car because it wouldn't get you anywhere. So it's the same thing with your cup. Your cup always needs to be full. You need to find this presence within your own life and within your own self. Like, what does your body need? What is your body saying to you? What is the source of your anxiety? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you eating well? The more that you're present with yourself, the more you become aware of these subtleties that maybe you weren't listening to, or you were avoiding when life was just too fast. And, that's the beautiful thing that COVID has offered us, honestly, without disregarding any trauma or pain or suffering that it's caused in all of our lives. A lot of really beautiful things have come out of it. Like, we've grown so much and learned so much about ourselves, and learned so much about life and what's important. And we've learned so much about how we want to fill that life and how we want to co-create that life, right? So being present means that, again, that you just really need to consciously enjoy each and every single day, every moment. Okay. So the first thing you can do is ask yourself, like, do you even love your life? Do you even want to be part of your life? Have you just let life happen to you on autopilot, or are you consciously creating? Are you just letting things happen to you, or are you saying, like, okay, well, this happened, I don't really like that, I'm not going to settle for that next time, I'm going to let that go, and I'm going to be patient, I'm going to wait for what is right for me and what does feel good to come along. Okay, so that means that you're really aligning with the people, the places, and the things that make you feel good, that make you feel joyful, that make you feel safe, that make you feel like you want to be part of it, like, genuinely. It's that feeling of yes, like, hell yes. And anything that's a hell no it's a no, right? You really have to decide what your standards are, what your values are, and what you're willing to accept or not accept. Okay? So it's a hard thing to do, but the time and attention and willingness that you have to do this for yourself will really align you with the most amazing future, by just having that commitment to yourself. Okay, so the other thing about presence is that it's about attention. So it's about really focusing on what you're doing in every given moment. So your monkey mind is going to want to wander to the past, to the future, and everything in between. And it's your job to constantly bring it back to the present moment, because the present moment is the only thing that's real, and it's the only thing that truly exists. The present moment is the only thing that's real. What's happened in the past is in the past, and what's going to happen in the future is in the future. The past already happened, the future hasn't happened yet. I mean, we could get into a whole quantum physics thing that, you know, time is an illusion, and there's multiple timelines and realities that exist at any given moment, but we're not going to go down that rabbit hole today. So just really, like I said, being focused on the present moment and enjoying it, because you just really never know when these moments are going to come to an end. So can you savor them? Can you really just be there for your life? Watching the full movie, not running away from it. Okay? So the other thing is that I want you to think about that every day you have $100 of energy to spend. Okay? Are you going into overdraft before noon? Like, where are you spending your energy? Are you, spending it all before the day is even halfway through? So where's your energy being siphoned, and where is it being replenished? So, you got to let go of the things that don't feel good and that drag you down and that don't feel like they're serving you. And then on the opposite side of that, you really need to think about and get clarity around who in your life and what experiences and things and environments really feel so good to you, because those are the things that you want to focus your attention and your time on. Life is so short. So you get a choice. No one chooses these things for you. You choose. You're in control of your life. There's no one guiding you like with puppet strings. It's at the end of the day, you are sovereign. Your life is your own, and your decisions are your own. And you have nobody to blame for your decisions or your actions or your habits or your behaviors other than yourself. Okay? Your time is honestly your most important resource. So who are you spending it on? Where are you spending it? Is it getting you to where you want to go? Or is it holding you back? Is it dragging you down? These are really questions that you need to consider. Like, just because something is being offered to you doesn't mean that you need to accept it. Just because somebody wants to have a relationship with you doesn't mean that it's actually in alignment for you. And it doesn't mean that it's actually even worth your time or effort. It might not be. And the thing is that it's okay to say no. You do need to say no, actually. There's so much that happens in life. You can't say yes to everything. And the thing is that most of us haven't been taught that it is okay to say no. Like, your boundaries are your own, and you get to decide what they are. So what are you accepting? And are you accepting it just because you're settling and you think you can't do any better? Or because you're lazy? Or because you think you're not worth it? Or, is it because you're just letting life happen to you instead of deciding that you want it to go in a particular direction? Okay. So I know for myself, like, the hardest lesson that I ever had to learn was saying no. I used to take any experience that came at me, just thinking that I guess I had to. And I never really took the time to sit and think, like, do I even want this? Is this good for me? Does this feel good? And I think, like, the best thing to do is, like, just really check in with your gut. Like, your gut knows everything. And the more that you trust it and the more that you work with your gut, the more that, like, this intuition side of you really kicks in, and it becomes just the way that you operate your life. It's your navigating system. And so your intuition and your gut always knows who are the people that have pure intentions to be in your life, and who want to give reciprocal meaning and action to your life, and who add to it or give to it equally instead of siphoning it or taking from it. You want people with pure intentions. Like, something that I realized was that, like, I don't want just any interaction. Like, I want people who are thoughtful, kind, genuine, deep, compassionate, right? And you know, if somebody doesn't fit that bill, then they don't. And so that's okay. And you know, the more that you hold on to people in your life that you've outgrown or that don't feel good, the more that you cause suffering for yourself and everyone involved, right? Like sometimes the best thing that you can do is to let go of people and situations and habits and environments and jobs that you've outgrown, right? Like you wouldn't force a baby to fit a shoe on its foot that is outgrown. So why would you force yourself to stay in situations that you've also outgrown, right? Like COVID changed everything, and things will never be the same, and people will never be the same. And that's okay, because people change, things change, dreams change, opinions change, and that's okay. We are not the same people that we were a year and a half ago. The world is not the same it's been a year and a half ago. And so things need to have a different approach. And so you need to have kindness and compassion for yourself, knowing that, you know, we basically live in a different reality and in a new world. And it's up to you to decide what that looks like for you, right? So one of the things that I want to kind of share with you is something that I like just think about every single day, is like, you know, this container analogy, right? Like I drew you a nice little picture, but so I want you to think about that your life is this container, okay? So you've got this box, it's your container. Now you're in the middle of this container, okay? So you're the driving force of it. You get to decide who and what is in your life. You need to first like decide what your priorities are, right? Like if you're a single person, maybe your priorities are yourself and your job and your friends. But if you're a family and you have kids, like your number one priority needs to be yourself, okay? In every situation, okay? Because remember we talked about, if you've got this full cup, you're coming from a place of fullness and wholesomeness and brightness, and you have so much to give, and it doesn't deplete you. So you become you know, such a clear channel to be able to get through life with, you know, by giving and making sure that you're still filling up yourself so that this cup never runs out. And then from there, when you, I think personally, for me, this is my own opinion, that your spouse needs to come second. Okay, when your spouse comes second, or your partner, and you guys get on the same team and you guys really focus on the love between you and building it and growing together, and just really being in alignment and finding happiness together, then, you know, your kids, they'll automatically come third, and they will be the recipient of all of that effort that you and your partner are putting into each other and to yourselves. And your kids are going to get a much better version of you, right? So like, again, this comes down to personal opinion, but I really see a lot that parents put their kids first, they neglect themselves, they neglect their spouse, the whole family breaks down, right? It's like this aggressive triangle, and it's not good for anybody. So I really see in the best case scenarios that, you know, the parent puts themselves first, then they put the partnership with their spouse second. Then, you know, that becomes so solid and so magical, you know, that, like I said, the kids become the direct recipients of the happiness and the love from the parents, and the stability and, you know, the ease, because there's not so much stress anymore, right? So at the end of the day, your kids are happy when you're happy. Your kids are peaceful when you're peaceful. And, you know, all of your behaviors, you model to them. So each choice that you make every day for yourself, like if you're settling, or if you're being even kind to yourself or caring about yourself, like you're modeling that to your children, right? So it's up to you to, you know, model the things that you want. Like, you know, you care and love about yourself, so you exercise, you eat healthy foods, you teach them that they need to do that as well. You teach them boundaries, you teach them that it's okay to say no. You teach them how to love themselves. You teach them, you know, just the things that you think that they're really going to need to feel happy and peaceful and secure and capable on their own, like as they move through life. Okay, so we've got you, your spouse, and your kids. Those are the top three in a family situation. Now, outside of that, there's your job, right? And then there's your extended family, like immediate extended family. So like the grandparents and maybe the brothers and sisters of you and your partner, right? And then 2 close friends, okay? Anything outside of that is extra. So do you even have room already for all those things that I just mentioned, or are all those things already overwhelming in themselves? Because if that's the case, you don't have time to have 10 friends, and you don't have time to coach the basketball team, and you don't have time to volunteer at 10 different places, and you don't have time to hang out with somebody that you just really don't enjoy being around, or, you know, so really consider your container. Who is in it? Who are the players in your game? What are you spending your energy on? Okay. What do you need to offload? What do you need to get rid of? What do you need to let go of forever? What do you need to change? How can you support yourself? How can you support yourself the best way possible? Okay. So once you've figured all of these things out, you want to make sure that you're leaving this space in between, all this white space. You want this space. This is breathing space. Because if you fill this whole container up, you're going to suffocate. You're going to feel like you're being squeezed. Life is going to be stressful. It's going to be anxiety ridden. And it's going to feel like you just can't do it. The world is closing in on you. You become unhappy, and there's no more ease in life because your vibration is so low. Like, you are not creating the sacred and safe space to nourish yourself and to be present and to be aligned and to be happy. That's what's important. You don't need to fill this up. So the reason why I'm talking about this is because COVID took all this away. Okay, we got clear on what do we need. We don't really need much. We need the people that we love. Okay, we need security, financial security. So we don't want to live in debt all the time. We want to live in, we've got some savings. We buy what we need. We make sure that we're healthy, that we have good nutrition. We make sure that we prioritize our health. We move our bodies. We work on ourselves. That's what's important. Nothing else. The car that you drive is not important. The size of your house is not important. What you wear is not important. None of those things are important. Okay, so COVID really helped us get very, very clear about what matters and who matters. And it helped us to really understand where we want to go forward. So now I want you to think about your life as an empty container. It's just you there, okay? So going forward, as we reopen and as we, move into this like whole new paradigm, what are you gonna fill your container with? Who's gonna go in there with you? Who are you going to consciously choose to walk on your path with you? Who do you want to align with? Who matches your values? Who's going where you're going? Okay. What do you need to let go of? That attachment to the things that don't fit in here anymore in your new life. Now, after all of this, your attachment to those things that you need to let go of is going to cause you suffering. So can you just choose what's best for you and let everything else take care of itself after that? This process is not easy. It's very hard. But the more that you do it, the easier it gets. Okay? And it's worth it. You need to protect your peace.